Hi friends, let's see the app we are going to develop in the next couple of lessons. When you run this app, this is the main option screen. You will see a menu which is on a table view. So I can click on say employee options, then it will load this data, and all the employee data are loaded dynamically from a data source, right? And then I can click on employee, and then it's dynamically changing this page with that particular employee and the projects. If I go back and click another employee, you can see the same page is dynamically changing with that employee and the projects, which are all loaded dynamically. The images are also loaded dynamically from a data source, right? So it's different images loaded dynamically. And then I can delete employees. Let's say I can swipe and say delete, then it deletes the data, right? If not, I can click on edit and say if I want to delete something, click on this and click delete, right? And when I'm done, I can say done, right? And then further I can insert data dynamically. Let us say a section P and say Peter, for example, and click OK. So it all gets added dynamically, right? Then once I'm done with employees, I can go scroll down, right? And then I can go into department options, right? So department, and do the same thing for department, right? But it's very important that you have to make sure to look at the next couple of lectures in this on table views, that is part 1, 2, 3, etc., until we complete this app. It explains all the theory and the practical knowledge which you need to know about developing this app, right? Okay friends, we are very excited to show you how to develop this app practically, and let's do it now. Okay friends, so the following is the outcome of this part of the lesson. When you complete this part of the lesson, your app will look like this, right? Until you complete the other lessons. So it will show a menu which is displayed using a static table view. When you click on the menu, it will take you to another screen where you can go back and forth and come back. This is using stack views. So it shows you how to create a menu using table view controller static. Then you can click on the next option, and then you will be taken to another screen, right? So this is the beginning of the app which we are going to develop, right? But make sure to go to the next lesson after you complete this lesson in order to complete the full app demonstrated earlier. To two other screens, I'm going to first introduce those two screens, right, without anything else. So I'm going to go to the object library, and those screens are just view controllers, right? Those two screens, meaning once you click on a menu option, what you want to load is perhaps or probably a view controller. But if you want, you can again load a, instead of a view controller, depending on your requirements, you might again load a table view controller. Meaning, let us say if this is your first menu choice, so when you click on one of these, say that you want to give another sub menu of choices, right? In that case, this will be what this screen, this one will be another table view controller. But in my case, I just want it to be a normal page, so I'm just adding table. So it's up to you to whether to add once again table view controls or view control. That depends on your application, that depends on your app, guys, right? Awesome. Now I got two things. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to make it clear, I'm going to make it like two screens. You remember, if you look at our previous lesson on multiple screens and navigators, navigation controllers, you will see that we had a screen similar to this with series of options. Assume these are like employee screens and with employee options. Assume this is department screens with department option. Just assume like that, my friends. Okay, let's move forward. Okay, awesome friends, right? And now let's do something like this, right? So let's now focus on, now we have the outline, right? Now let's focus on the table view controller, right? So if I click on this, right, I can see it's a table view controller, right? Then inside the table view controller, so this is in the document hierarchy, right? In the document hierarchy, you can see, okay, when I click this, so if I click this, okay, it says this is that navigation controller. If I click this screen, it says this is the view, right? I'm just showing you guys. So if I click this screen, it says, okay, this is that view. If I click over here, it says, okay, that is the view controller. So this document explorer, this document hierarchy shows, gives you a clear idea of where you are. So then if I click this, okay, it's this. So it is a table view controller, right? It's a table view controller, and it says it's a table controller. But look here, now if I click on this over here, oh, it says it's a table view. That means inside the table view controller, guys, there is a table view, right? And you can see it from the document explorer over here as well. This document hierarchy, you can see it's a table view, right? And if I click inside this, guys, it even further goes to another component called table view cell, right? And you can see it just in the document hierarchy as well, guys, right? So it's very important for you to look at the document hierarchy, because sometimes, guys, when you have a complex user interface, you need to look at things from the document hierarchy, to make things clear. Not only that, if you click on a complex document, you might drag something and it might drag something else, but now it's very clear over here. So if it's a view controller, you can just click, so it takes you to the view controller. If it's a table view, it takes a table view, and then it shows you the properties of the table view. If it's a cell, if you click here from the document hierarchy, then you can go and modify the properties. So especially, guys, when you have a complex user interface and when you want to change some properties, sometimes it's easy for you to click here and immediately load the properties, and change the properties, right? Keep that in mind, guys, right? Awesome. So now I can see that I got a table view controller. Then inside that I got a table view. You can see it's getting highlighted here and properties are changing. Then inside the table view, see this small thing is a table view cell, right? I got a cell, right? And then the contents of it, right? Whatever the content inside that cell, right? So that is how it is organized, right? So table view, right? Okay, so now as the lesson said, we are going to talk about static content, table view controller. So what I'm going to do is to make it static contents, I'm going to click on the table view and I'm going to select a property of that called the content. So the content I'm going to say is going to be static cells for this example, right? In other examples, it can be dynamic as well, right? So I selected, and the moment I selected it, there were a couple of changes, right? The moment I made it static, right? Now you can look at the document hierarchy. It has embed three table view cells, whereas early it was only one cell, but now I got three table view cells, and then inside that there's a view, right? Content view. Awesome. So now my next thing is I have two screens in my example, like orange screen and a purple screen, right? Orange screen I assume going to be the employee option. So let me put that, right, so that it's clear. Let me put a label quickly, right? Let's put a label and let's call it as employee options, right? Let's put a color. Let's do some property changes. Awesome, right? So I added two labels, right? One employee options, department. That makes it clear, right? So because of I got two options, employee options, department options, my friends. Well, when I look at my table view, control and the table view, I need only two cells. The first cell, when I click, I want to go to the orange screen. The second cell, when I click, I want to go to the purple screen. So because of that, I'm going to delete this third one. So I'm going to select this from the document explorer and then delete it, right? So just click the delete key in the keyboard, it deleted. So now I got only two of them, right? So once again, looking at the table view, static cells, right? And it says sections 1, don't worry about that, we'll look at that later, right? And now what's the next step, right? Next step is I got my table view sorted, right? I got my table view sorted. Now what I'm going to do is, guys, I'm going to click on let's say like this. Let's say I'm going to click on, so I got one section, right? So because in my table view I got sections, right? So I got one section, right? So let's work on this now. So as you remember now, see now in this example it got multiple sections, right? I explained section for A, section for B. So if you want something like that, right? If you want something like that, what you do is you can click on your table view, look at this. Now you got only one section, but if you say two sections, see guys, now it says section 1 and section 2, and look at the change, right? Look at the change it has made, right? Section 1 and section 2, right? So that's something very important for you to keep in mind, right? So but in my case I won't only say one section. So what I'm going to do is, once again, I'm going to click it. So you can have multiple sections, right? So if it's 3 sections, it will have 3 sections, so that you can do something similar to this, right? Awesome guys, right? This is something really great, right? What you are doing, right? But in my case I want only one section, right? Let us say, because of that, right, let me do like this, right? So let me say, no, I want only one section, right? So it brings it back to one section, right? I got one section. Inside that I got cells, so I'm going to select on the first cell, right? And in a situation like this, when you are making table view controls with static content, what you do is, my friends, what you do is you select on each cell, and In this case, I'm going to give a style, right? So the style I'm going to give is like a basic style. But when I click any options from the property, navigate from this property, what do you call this, attribute inspector, right? When I click on the attribute inspector and do some change, just have a look at the document hierarchy here. So you will see a lot of changes are happening, right? So let me expand and keep like this, then you can see. For example, if I click on the cell and if I say the style, right, if I say the style is going to be basic, see what changes would happen, right? When I click on basic, see something got added, right? Look, you got something added into the document. Let's expand and see that, right? See, it has added a label, right? So if I click on it, see, it has added a label, which means, guys, you didn't do it manually, but when you say you want a basic cell, it's adding a label. So now the idea you are getting here is, into a table view, you can put components like labels, like buttons, images, right? So that is the beauty of this. You can put labels, button, images, and things like that. Okay, my friends, right? Awesome, right? So now you got a table view with content, let's say basic content, right? So table view cell, I got it changed to basic, right? And then I got a title automatically appearing in a label, right? And I would like to give impression to the user that, okay, when the user click this, the user will be taken to another screen, or I want to give the impression to the user that he can click this. For that, what I can do is, on the table view cell, I can give a property called accessories, like extra accessories, and I can say, okay, something like disclosure indicator, meaning it gives the accessory for the user, like to feel that he can click, and go forward, right? Awesome, right? And then what I'm going to do is, now after I do it, I'm going to click on the table view, right? And I'm going to change the title, meaning I can click on the title and I can just change the title, or I can just double click here, right? And say something like, okay, employee options, right? Something like that, right? Employee options, right? Okay, so let me do a small thing, right? So it gives me an option called employee options, right? Awesome, right? So it gives me employee options. And one thing, guys, you can see the section 1 is indicated here. That is because I was trying to add sections and I removed the sections. But if you don't want that, what you do is, you click on this section 1 from the document hierarchy and you can just delete the header so that you don't see anything as a section, right? So now the user doesn't see it as a section. But if you had multiple sections, you would have added them, right? Awesome. Now let's move forward. Now I got one of them. So then my next thing is, when I click on the table view cell, I have done the basic. So now when I run this, let's run and see this with that up to that, right? With that up to that, let's try and see. So I should now see like a menu or set of choices. See, I can click it, but still when I click, nothing happens. So that I have to look at our previous lessons on multiple screens and navigation segues, right? Segues. I'm going to make a segue now, storyboard segue, right? Because it's a static content. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to control drag this, right? Control drag this to this screen, right? I'm going to say show, right? Okay, so it's going to add a storyboard segue with the back button. Why? So this is where the back button is, because of the navigation control. So once again, if you don't know about it, look at our previous lessons on multiple screens and navigation controllers, right? So you got a back button, which means you can come back, right? Which indicates that you can come back, right? Awesome, right? So now, okay, let's do like this, right? Now let's run and see, guys, what's going to happen. So let's click on the run button. So this is how you create a simple menu, guys, right? To start with, it's not dynamic, it's static, right? So now if I click on this, guys, see, it takes me. Awesome, wonderful, guys, awesome work, right? You can click back, right? So then let us say I want to give another option called department options, right? So what I'm going to do is, okay, let's click on the second cell, right? Make sure you click, just verify it from here, and then give one. Okay, you are with me now, guys. Tell me what did I do, right? Yes, exactly. Click basic, right? And then give accessories, because to give like disclosure indicator, and then click on the title, right? And say, let us say department options, right? So department options, guys, right? Awesome, right? Employee options and department options. And then what's next? Quickly control drag it, right? control drag and say show, right? So then it will again push that second screen to right to the navigation controller, right? Let's run this, guys. Let's run, right? So this is how you simply make a simple static menu, guys. Assuming you have app and you want to give some options for the user to click, you just give it. So employee options, awesome, awesome. Department options, right? Awesome, wonderful, right? So employee options and department options, right? So this is all. This was a simple but awesome lesson on how you can use table views. And we what we did was we made a simple menu for table views, right? And let's see what's next. So let's do one more thing, guys. So now what I want to do is, say I want to also like give a title here, right? So what I can do is first click on this view controller, then you can see, you know, where it is in the document hierarchy, and then in that you can see like a navigation item, right? So if you click on the navigation item, there you can give a title. Let us say this is the title is employee options, right? I'm just giving you various options to, you know, for you to, and let's click on the next one, right? And then over here, see, that's where this document hierarchy helps you a lot, right? Click on the navigation item. It's very easy to click and deal with things. And let's call this as department options, guys, right? And let's run this and see whether that is in action, right? So we are almost finishing the lesson, almost in the process of finishing the lesson, right? So department options, get employee options, right? Department options, awesome, right? So this lesson, you can use it as a template for your simple apps. And let's say I would like to get another view controller here to dig down in detail, right? To dig down in detail, and let's say just to finish it, let's put a view controller, right? Another view controller, right? Let's make it smaller, and then let's put another view controller, right? Right, so let's say these are the subsequent view controllers that you want to load, you know, when you go forward, right? Awesome. And then what I'm going to do is, let's say I'm going to put a button. So because I'm going to show this, because then you can use this, guys, as a template for a simple application, right? So I'm going to put a button, right? And I'm going to put some properties for the button. So guys, I added a button and then it just gave some properties, right? So it looks like this. Now what I want to do is, when the user click next, I want to go to the next. So we have done this earlier on our previous lessons on multiple screens. So now you know what to do is control drag, right? And add a storyboard segue, right? So you control drag and add a storyboard segue, and see it gives you the option to navigate back, right, into the, see, now the storyboard segue is seen. And to make it consistent, I'm going to give a background color of that, so the user feels that okay, it's the same, right? Awesome, right? And then I'm going to do the same thing for this, right? So just click it, just give the same background color so the user feels that the same screen. Then click on next, control drag, show. So this is going to be like a simple template for a simple application, guys. So let's run this now, and let's finish this lesson with this, right? With this awesome output, right? So this is a simple application, simple template where you can use like a choice of menus, right? Okay, so employee options, awesome. If you want, you can come back or dig detail, like click next, right? You are going to the employee options, right? So click back, awesome, click back. Then department options. So this is, you can use this in app with it's like HR app, human resource app, where the user can, you know, like admin member in the company can use this to manage the employees, manage departments, etc., right? Okay. And as a final thing, what I'm going to do is I would like to give a heading for this. So I'm going to click on this table view controller and check it from the document hierarchy, and then the navigation item just here, click on it, which is this, and then the title I'm going to give it as main options, right? Something like main options. Awesome, right? Let's run this, guys. Let's run this. So you should see like a simple complete application, right? See, you got main options, employee options, you can go back, department options. Awesome, guys. So that is the end of the lesson. Let's quickly look whether we have covered everything, right? So as a conclusion, yes, we learned about table views, table view controllers, and especially we use table view controller display a menu of choices, and we did some practicals, and you can find the link to this download the source code for this project just in the description below this video, right? Okay, references was Apple Developer Docs. What's next? Look at our other lessons on table views, especially dynamic table views, and look at our other videos on Objective-C reset, and make sure to subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to receive other videos on machine learning, AI, and data science. So until we meet with the next video, guys.